Having a good tax guy is probably the biggest thing that's going to save you in business. Most people don't understand how much they're spending on taxes, how much they're blowing on just unnecessary things. You got to learn to write things off. I'm not a licensed tax advisor, but I'm gonna tell you, I write off office space, I write off dinners, I write off every single business expense that I can possibly find because I pay a lot in taxes every year. I also have a lot of expenses. And I invest a lot back into my businesses. And that's also a big way that I am able to write things off. And that's also a wonderful thing because I'm increasing my top line revenue. The one thing I'll say about taxes that are really, really good, taxes encourage people to have business write-offs, to invest into their business. And if we didn't have taxes the way they were, people would just sit and let their business idle. And that's not a good thing. But because I have to constantly pay taxes, I put a lot of money back in my businesses that are business write-offs. They're business expenses. And so my business is constantly growing. I'm constantly fucking spending money towards my business to allow it to grow because I constantly want to generate the little small gap of profit that I could possibly have. So that 60%, that 50% of profitability is what I need to maximize. And the rest of the money needs to fucking go to the world. It needs to go to the business. It needs to be YOLO'd out into whatever it is. So it's actually a very good formula. People complain a lot about taxes, but it's the people that don't invest in their business that are losing money on taxes. Those are the people that are actually not winning. But taxes, people think that they're the worst thing in the world. They're really not if you know how to handle them. Anything like in life, right? Take a beautiful girl. She's gonna want you to take her to dinner. She's gonna want you to buy things. You might say, oh, that's a terrible thing, but if you know how to handle it, if you're prepared, it's really not a bad thing. A bad business thing coming up, you can know how to handle it and it could be a wonderful thing. Anything in life is gonna be hard until you know how to deal with it. A $10,000 expense may be hard for the regular average person, but for a multimillionaire, it's just a walk in the park. Something like the cost of jet fuel is crazy. I'm like, oh my God, $800 an hour for jet fuel? Whoa! For a billionaire, it's nothing, okay? That's nothing. When you're prepared to handle the world, you're able to do it. Lifting something, moving some furniture might be a lot for someone, but it's easy for someone that knows, that has a muscle, that has the strength to do it. At the end of the day, nothing in life is hard if you know how to handle it. Nothing is hard if you know how to handle it. And nothing is hard if you know how to be prepared and how to be structured in the way that you kind of deal with problems. You know, there's a lot of things that people are scared of, but taxes are one thing that you can't escape. Most problems you can dodge and kind of move around on the side. Taxes, not the case. You cannot dodge taxes. You cannot let them go. So learn to make them your friend. Get a good accountant in your life. Get a really, really established accountant. I think accountants are some of the most underpaid positions out there, but they actually save you so much money. Now, my accountant kind of waxes me, between you and me, okay? He's charging me a lot of money, but he does a lot for me. And so that's why I pay the money, I pay the big dollars, and I get to do what I gotta do. So a big thing that you guys gotta do is, in life, when you have people that deal with problems for you, a manager in your business, a person that's a consultant for you, you need to get them lined up and aggressively in front of the problem. When you buy things on a day-to-day basis, make sure that you have your bank statements. Make sure that you organize what you're doing. A good tip I'll give you guys is download apps like Monarch. There was an app that I used to use all the time. It's called Mint. It was really, really good, but it's not around anymore. But Monarch is really the new one I use for managing my expenses, making sure that my accounts are in order, and I highly recommend you using that one. It's not sponsored in any way, but I would use that app, download it. I think there's a paid version, I'm not even sure, but you can obviously see your expenses and it categorizes them for you. And if it doesn't know how to categorize it, you can categorize it yourself. So highly recommend, you can give that to your tax guy. Obviously have all your 1099s, because I get like 20, 30 1099s from all my businesses. You gotta make sure that you're organized and then you're able to handle those things. But the big thing about taxes, the big thing about not losing that money, constantly reinvest in your business. At least 40, 50% of your profits should be reinvested into the business. And that's how you stay on top of taxes, because then you can effectively just write that stuff off.